Bye.
Hello guys, it's your girl Melamona here with a different kind of video today that's not love messages or general messages, okay? So, as of lately, I've been really dibbling and dabbling into shadow work for myself, okay? Um, I feel as though some of you guys could need this information as well, as such as myself, looking at shadow work, what it is, and things like that. So what I'm going to do in this video is actually, explain to you what shadow work is, how to go about it, and pretty much say what does each, placement or things like that needs to hear. Okay? It's not generalized or love, but just like whatever you need to hear about yourself in regards to your shadow self or your, you know, inner self that you don't expose. So let's just hop right into what is shadow work. Also, I got some notes right here so I don't lose track of what I'm telling you guys. So shadow work is pretty much where you acknowledge your inner self. And I mean everything, not only just positive things about yourself, but also, you know, what is things that you don't want to show people that you actually embody on a regular day basis, such as like rage, envy, greed, selfishness, nastiness, and, be able to be controlling of power, things like that. Pretty much things you wish nobody knew about you. That's what we're going to be talking about. How to, I wouldn't say conquer, but, be able to accept that side of yourself and learn from that type of behavior. Okay? So, one thing that people might do that, when they realize that they're being this way, whether it's like selfish, greedy, things like that, or, rude, somebody may repress those feelings, towards somebody. Or maybe, like after they instantly, you know, realize that they are the one that's doing that to somebody else, you could pretty much also project it onto people other than keeping that part of you in and not showing your true self, which has always been yourself. It's just something you repress. But if you're not the type to repress uh this type of part of yourself, you may project it onto others. Okay, so what projection is, if you don't know what projection is where you pretty much throw on your own inner qualities or something that is something dealing with you onto somebody else. So take for example, rudeness. Somebody could come to you and they might talk in a different tone, or they may say something that you don't like. You will automatically consider that rude. Okay, yeah, that might come off as rude, but I don't feel as though people don't always have those intentions. It's your psyche or your inner self realizing that, oh, I notice myself in others. Okay, that's kind of shadow working, realizing that you see yourself in others, and you also do that same thing. It's a good thing that you are acknowledging and realizing you're doing self awareness. That's one step to that. Okay, so pretty much moving on to that part. How can you do shadow work? What are some steps? Um, how can that affect my life? What do I need to know about this? Okay, so for one, you always need to own up to your flaws, your weaknesses, selfishness, hate, things like that. Own up to it. Know that, I did this and this is wrong. When you know that something is wrong that you did to somebody else, you can, not hesitate, correct it the next time. I'm not saying that you should like repress it. That's the difference between repressing and correcting. Okay? So once you do shadow work and things like that, some changes that you might notice in yourself and everything around you, your relationships are going to improve. You'll have a clear perception of like yourself, other people, you'll pretty much your mental and your physical health will enhance. Because people stress out about it, but I'll go more into depth on each topic. You will also become more mature once you do some type of shadow work. So let's talk about what can be approved one by one from that list. So as I was saying, when you improve your relationships after doing shadow work, you're able to accept yourself and others, their flaws. You know, that's talking about like, growing with somebody, being able to be a better person. So if you're a selfish person and you're with somebody and you do some shadow work, or maybe they're selfish and it's vice versa, you are able to learn from somebody that probably already healed, or you need to be going through a healing process. Not saying that you need people to heal, but you may, find yourself kind of getting the sense that, oh, this person brings out a better side of me. So you become more selfless. This is where you put other people before yourself in a good way. So it's like it's not always about you, or you don't blame other people to save yourself. It's like you take accountability within relationships and why things might not work, or just the betterment of relationships, being able to compromise, things like that. Healthy communication, no blaming, no, on projections onto other people. Like, you don't want that, okay? So that's one way that it can be improved, in your relationships. Another thing is the clear perception. So with clear perception, it's your way of knowing yourself better. Again, let's just take relationships and the argument. When somebody could be projecting themselves onto you, or they could be labeling you as a certain thing, after you reach a higher part of yourself where you already did that healing, nothing like that can affect you anymore, because you know yourself. You can think clearer and not react off of emotions that are just you're repressing feelings, or just pretty much it's traumas you didn't get over. If you have a clear perception of yourself and what you need to heal over, and you've done that, nothing like that will be able to affect you. Which is moving on to the next thing that I was telling you about, physical and mental enhancement of your health, in that area. So, once you, deal with those past traumas, childhood wounds, things like that, you are able to, become happier, have more healthier relationships. So let's just take mommy daddy issues. That's like the number one thing that people like to throw in each other's faces when it comes to things not working out, and how this person was raised. So let's talk about that. So let's talk about just let's just say daddy issues and then mommy issues. So with daddy issues, you may find that a girl, they always typically cliche way label a girl that always wants a male's attention, and they usually do crazy things for a guy or whatever. Like, they long for love from a guy. They may say that's daddy issues. But I feel as though if she do some type of shadow work on, like, why do I always have to go for that route, when she realizes that that's kind of unhealthy, which is a childhood wound, she probably don't want to accept that about herself or the situation. Which everybody's shadow work and childhood wounds and traumas are different, okay? So for the people that's watching me talking, oh, daddy issues, da da da, yeah, I know. I'm just using this as an example. Everybody's story is different. Just listen, okay? All right. So yeah, let's just take that. She may long for a male's attentions because of the lack of attention or presence from her father in her childhood life. So that's where you might find somebody longer for that. Or mommy issues, where a guy may find it hard, that the mother is somebody that's always going to love you. If let's just say he was adopted and given up, okay? This is something that really harms a lot of people and their psyche. If you do shadow work, let's say you are the adoptive son that doesn't have the mother in his life, if he does his work and realizes that, okay, my self-worth is not valued by another person but myself, and like how I can handle it myself, I'll be fine, and I wouldn't bring that into other relationships. Just learn from that. When you learn from you know, pretty much the past and things like that, you are able to move forward healthily, know how to, you know, pretty much it's like time with experience, you are able to grow from that. Like, I don't know if I can make that make sense for you guys, but that's the best way I can describe it.
Oh God, my bad.
Sorry guys, they just got home from school. But yeah, back to mental health and being able to recognize and grow from situations. Yeah, so pretty much, yeah. After you realize things about yourself that you don't want to accept, and not only realizing and accept that about yourself, you're able to reach new heights. Self awareness is very powerful. You know, discovery is always important. Learning about yourself, because you know it's things that you don't even know about yourself, but you have to sit with and, you know, actually look for, because you just think about the surface. Okay, this is kind of like a psychology lesson where you have, you know, the self I show you now, the inner self, ego, things like that. All of that plays into yourself. You have to explore yourself. Um, that's why they always be like, you don't know a person to like so many years and things. But moving back to the topic so I don't get off the track, maturity. Last but not least for me, I feel like maturity is something that you will gain after doing some type of shadow work. Because a lot of people become, I would say, childish when it comes to, I'm just say, relationships, business, things like that. Um, Let me think of a business one because this probably is going to hit home for some people. But let's just talk about business. Let's say you are a boss. You are a boss. You have a company. You are doing things to where you get money. But you are a selfish boss, a mean boss, things like that. Okay? And your coworkers see that. Um, you may run into a problem where, you know, that may backfire. You don't always, you know, want to be seen as that person, but if you're coming off that way, that can affect your ways of work. Once you realize that and fix something about yourself, just know that you are able to, you know, as my mama would say, you get more flowers with honey. You know, you be more sweeter, you know, things like that. I'm just saying that, you know, you don't, you know, disregard that about yourself, but you realize that you're doing that to grow and be able to go forward in life. Okay? It's all about shadow work. Knowing yourself, knowing that that's a part of yourself, acknowledge those things and kind of fix those things, like kind of tweak them. I'm not saying that, you know, if you are this hard body person always cussing people out because you don't want nobody running over you, just know that the reason why you're doing that is because something hurt you in the past to where you feel as though everybody's trying to hurt you. That's not it. Be it, again, self-perception, knowing when somebody is doing that properly to you. Is that projection? Are you repressing? Knowing yourself. Okay, I can say that I probably still need some work that I don't know about myself, but I feel like I came a long way to where I cannot be moved in my own emotions and things like that because I know myself. So what I'm trying to do for you guys today is get you to a higher part of yourself as well, just as I am on my own journey. Okay, so let's look at some ways that you can overcome them. Okay, like I said, self-awareness. So what you can do, which you probably won't always catch yourself doing, but if you're talking to somebody and you kind of feel that you are in a situation where you are uncomfortable, you feel like you're being mean, or, you know, just things didn't go nicely, record it. Record it or take note. Be like, oh, I blew up at this person on blah 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 day. Okay, you probably did that because you were angry, but also ask yourself, why was you angry? What caused that? What was your feelings? Okay, so let's say somebody said something to you that was a trigger. Triggers are indications that something from the past has caused that. So really think about your emotions. Okay, also, again, another thing to move forward with shadow work, be honest with yourself. Be honest and know that, people might tell you some things about yourself that you may not like. But be honest with the fact that, oh, let me analyze that first. And analyzing that is pretty much you being able to sit there, see those qualities in yourself, and what can I do differently if, it's affecting my relationships with people or my own self. Because, those things can affect you as well. Your psyche, your mental, like I said, your health. So, by that being said, when you release those traumas, you're able to live a more peaceful life. People that are stressing, if you're stressing a lot, that causes, if you have those type of problems, it could cause heart problems. I don't know, but I know most of the time it could cause high blood pressure, things like that. Just you being able to, people like to binge eat, stress eat, things like that. That's not good for you. If you're happy, you're able to, have a healthier lifestyle, be able to not worry about things and move on with your life. That's what everybody wants, really. So, yeah, again, that journal. Keep a journal so that way you can, look back and see your progress. Okay? Yeah. All right. So, next time, just do some mental notes and things like that. I'm glad that I can kind of school you guys on what shadow work is, but now I will be hopping into the actual reading for your sign. Okay? Okay, water sign. So let's look at what could be some things that could be contributing to you having to do some shadow work. What are some things that you can do? Even though I had already previously said the things that you can do if you want to take those steps, but let's just see personally for water signs. Let's first start off with Scorpio, okay? Let's start off with some shadow work Scorpios can do. What's some things, things like what's something that needs to be acknowledged for you to even start some type of shadow work, okay? What are some things that you need to acknowledge before you start some type of shadow work? I'm going to get some quick few messages and then, some solutions, what can be done. So let's see. What are some things that needs to be acknowledged for my Scorpios for shadow work? Ooh, okay. Okay, so Scorpios, automatically I feel like you are always playing the victim. So how I'm taking that is that you guys need to be more accountable for your part in, this could be relationships or just things that causes problem like in your work life, just everyday life. Take accountability. That's okay. I know that you don't always want stress on you and put on you, but it's better to own up to something and do something about it rather than, having that stress that you been putting up with by playing the victim. Okay, I say that because you have the Wheel of Fortune. You see her. She's pretty much on this wheel. Knives are being thrown. That could be knives or swords in a suit. That could represent like analytical thoughts, words, communication, things like that. Okay, so people could be saying things to you that you don't want to accept because at the same time you're dodging these things. Okay. Also, it's like victim. It's like you always want to come out looking like the good person with the star. This is kind of like my purple heart, even though it's not a purple heart, but that's what it reminds me of. It's like, oh, you want to be the, the best person, like, in the army. That's like the greatest thing to see, a good lot of praise. But I feel like, ooh, okay. I'm not taking all of these. Pretty much, if you feel the need that you are a part of this and you want some type of I feel like some of you guys that are Scorpios, you definitely need maybe a personal reading as well. But looking out, like, you have a lot of cards that keep wanting to come out because I feel like this did trigger a lot of things in you guys, because you have the Devil in reverse. The Devil in reverse here, yeah, I feel like you guys are really dealing with a lot of things right now. Only because you have cobwebs, you have drinking, you have smoking, you have past relationships. It's almost like you are indulging in bad things because that's kind of how you feel. You feel bad on the inside. Like you surround those things around you. If that makes sense, like, okay, you want to surround yourself with good people, and good people bring out good things. So maybe you need to, you know, be with somebody that can be almost like a mirror or an improvement to yourself. Okay? So Scorpios, that's what I'm seeing. That's what I am seeing. Let's just get 2 more messages. Let's get 2 more messages. And then we're going to move on to the next water sign. Okay. Oh my God. So, yeah, I feel like something has been bothering you guys to where you could turn to drugs. Drugs could be, drugs could, you know, what they call drugs now is drinking and, you know, actual drugs. Like, you know, stronger drugs, you know, shooting up. Because that's kind of what it's looking like. I don't know if you are this type. I don't know if you can see this. Yeah. I don't know if you heard this type to actually go to this type of thing. I feel like you get nervous under pressure. Like I said, when people tell you something about yourself, you play victim, you try to run away. It's not great. Let's get one more message. One more message. I feel like you guys love devil's advocate. Like, how can I best explain that? If somebody says something to you and you know it's about you and it's bad, you try to be like, well, to make it seem better. Like, that's another way of projection or repressing or reflecting something, putting it back, or, you know, pretty much devil's advocate to where you pretty much want to make your side look better. Still not owning up or taking accountability and playing victim to where you cannot, you know, pretty much it's like you cannot right your wrongs within yourself if you always make yourself look right. You will never meet that side of yourself, and this is what you need shadow work on. Last message is the 9 of hazards here. So yeah, I feel like with this 9 of hazards here, this talks about this just talks about pretty much you go through everyday life as everything is normal, you're fine, you know. Can you see that? Yeah. So pretty much you go through life like everything is normal, everything is fine. I'm gonna make it through. You know, you just feel like you're gonna be good. But by the 9 of hazards being in reverse here, I feel like everything is not good on the outside. Like on the inside, you may like, or maybe that's vice versa. So on the outside, things may be going good for you, but on the inside, you still have those problems that are not healed, or maybe you haven't, you know, fixed those things about yourself. Let's get some type of, okay. It says take time to breathe out. Take time to breathe out. So I feel like that right there, that's like maybe you need to go into this meditative state to where you just sit down and just let your thoughts run. And really like listen to yourself. Listen to things like, you know, just really just take some time and think. Right now, maybe I feel like you guys need to think about something, maybe what I'm telling you right now. Maybe, yeah, it's dealing with my communication to you guys that you need to listen to right now. Yeah. It says communication is key, okay? So it's like, yeah, and then new moon. So it's like something that you be communicating or how you communicate is not a good way. Like, that's not helping you for your highest good right now. Alright, I don't feel like that's a good thing. So really pay attention to the things that you say to people, because that could be your own projections onto people as to why you cannot move forward in your happiness. Okay? So Scorpios, hopefully that did help you guys. I'm going to move on to the next water sign. Okay? Moving on to the next water sign. I feel like this should be Pisces next, okay? So let's see, what is some shadow work things that Pisces needs to work on right now? Let's look at Pisces. Pisces. I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling very calm today. I'm relaxed. Just let me know how you guys are feeling in the comments. Alright. What are some shadow work things? What's some things about Pisces that they need to realize about themselves that they need to work on right now? Let's see, for my Pisces. Like you guys want it to be stubborn. So let's just go with this. Okay. Automatically, abandonment issues and letting go. Okay? Letting go for the higher good of yourself. I feel like you guys put other, like, that's what I'm saying. Shadow work is different for everybody. Okay? This right here is telling me that you put other people's happiness before you. And one of you guys could be a female or a male. This could be just be a feminine energy within you guys, to where it's like, okay, you didn't receive some type of love or gratitude, or just, you know, some type of affection from somebody. So what you would do is put their feelings before you, or make them feel very good, because them being happy made you happy. But deep down, like, are you really happy here? Because you have the Five of Cups in reverse, and you have the Father of Cups. So it's like, I'm not saying that this person is manipulative or anything towards you or this situation, but I just feel like you are, you know, you cannot balance your own emotions. You cannot even read your own emotions. Like, you are emotionally numb to yourself and others. So maybe you need to be more emotionally intelligent right now, because you need to know, like, what makes me happy. Am I happy because I'm happy, or am I happy because I'm making somebody else happy right now? Okay, let's see. Get two more messages. Yeah, you guys could definitely be needing to speak some type of truth as well. For Pisces. Okay. Okay. Things that needs to be acknowledged. Alright, let's look at more messages on things you need to acknowledge. So, I feel like this could be like two different situations or things like that. So like I said, some of you guys are not emotionally intelligent when it comes to yourself and other people. Or maybe you really don't care about other people's emotions or feelings and how you treat them. So maybe you need to be more, I'm guessing with the Ace of Wands here, you need to be more like the Ace of Wands and actually, you know, expand your horizons. And I feel like that's with your mind, okay? Expand your horizons and your openness to receiving criticism from their said people that you could be affecting, okay? And I feel like when you do this and you stop, like, for some of you guys, when you stop putting yourself first and, you know, putting yourself into this black hole here, you know, fighting yourself, like your good stuff, your bad stuff, like your internal is fighting right now. But I feel like once you do some of these things to where you are more open to receiving criticism, if you are, you know, not the greatest person, or maybe, you know, if you're too soft and you let people run over you and you pretty much do things off of emotional things, to where it's like, okay, I'm gonna put this person first, then I'm gonna be happy next. Okay, once you know, put yourself first, I feel like that's one thing, and actually take criticism to take the next step, because I feel like you guys want to do this, like you want some type of happiness, but you have to take those steps, because once you do, I feel like this is going to bring a big transformation within you guys with the Two of Pentacles here. And I feel like, again, too, it's like you no longer fighting your insides, having to, think about, it's some overwhelming messages. So, you guys, I don't know, I feel like I'm going to get whole lot of hate comments because people do not like what I say at first, and then they're like, okay, I realize now. Okay, so, yeah. Maybe this, I feel like right now I need to pull some, like some things that people need to say to you, because maybe there's things that they don't like, and this could be within relationships. This is relationships with anybody, like your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your auntie, whoever. These aren't all my cards, but I just feel like these are. It says, why are you in this relationship? Yeah. It says, why are you in this relationship? I feel like this is saying, why are you in this? Are you happy? Okay, are you being mindful of your own heart? Is this what you want? Okay, let's see what else we have. What do you think is holding me back? So it's like, with that, like I was saying, what do you think is not making you the better person? Like, what are some qualities about yourself that makes you not as great as you could be? Or maybe it's not very, nice amongst people. It says, what was the last trip that connected us with the best and why? So I feel like with that, it's like, okay, when were you happy? When was the last time you was happy? When was the last time you felt great? What type of actions did you do? And I mean, like, was you showing gratitude to somebody? Were you being selfless? Because I feel like some of you guys are having a problem with being selfish and selfless. And maybe you need to learn from somebody or something like that. I don't know. It's like little simple messages. Little simple. Yeah, somebody needs to tell you something or something. Because I do not know why I'm over here tripping out with my throat chakra. But let's see. Let's see. Some advice on how to do this. On how to overcome these situations. Wish these boys wasn't as loud. It says, bring love into the situation. Okay? So yeah, I feel like this love could be self-love. Not saying that you guys don't love yourself, but in a way, when you put other people before yourself, that's a form of, I'm not going to say self-hate, but it's like, dang, you should love yourself more to at least put yourself first. So yeah, I do feel like you guys should resonate with this. It says conclusions are within reach. So yeah, I feel like like I said, once you guys do this transformation within you guys it's going to be good. Let's get one more. It says the energy is gaining momentum. So yeah, it's coming in sooner than you know. Like, maybe, like I said, maybe you guys are moving more quicker into doing this shadow work, or maybe this realization or these things about yourself is going to pop more in your real life. You're going to be able to see this other than like me telling you. Like, you're going to be more mindful, more self-aware, as I was telling you, like things that you need to do. Or maybe you subconsciously don't realize it, but you will start to do that more off of instinct, okay? But okay, Pisces, moving on to the next water sign, which is Cancer. Let's see what Cancer needs to, look at in regards to their shadow work. What is some things Cancers need to look at right now? Let's get Cancers. Something about fire sign. I don't know. Maybe whatever your problems reside into your shadow work. There could be like some traumas. Could be dealing with a fire sign. Let's look at what Cancer needs to do for shadow work. What are some things Cancers need to work on for shadow work? Cancers for shadow work. Okay. Okay. Okay, so you automatically got the fool card. Like, I like to take the fool card as literal and not literal. So maybe you feel as though you feel like you're being taken as a fool, you're being played all the time. Like, this is some type of vulnerability or openness situation, because this person is opening himself up, but it's in reverse. So it's like maybe you're not opening up. The Six of Pentacles to me also, like, that feels like, you know, doing investments within yourself, or maybe relationships with other people or a particular person. Okay, so for whoever that is, maybe something that you need to do is be more vulnerable and, you know, be more open to people, because everybody's not playing you for a fool. Okay, and the Fool card also talks about going into a situation open-minded, you know, not really thinking about the bad things all the time. So don't overthink your situations. Let's get this one. Knight of Swords. Yeah, people are not attacking you as well. Like I said, with that whole hurt complex, like, nobody's trying to hurt you. Okay? I feel like it's safe. Okay, I feel like it's safe as well. I feel like when the person is talking to you or they do certain things, I feel like this is a way for you to explore yourself, because with this woman, the Knight of Swords here, she's in her astronaut suit and this crazy, like, kind of outfit. That's like, you know, being very open, adventurous, and creative. And that's how maybe what you need to do when it comes to yourself. Okay. Take this one, the Magician. The Magician, very complex person. So I feel like whatever your shadow work is dealing with is very complex, and it could be dealing with love, because you have the flowers here. Most of the time when I see flowers on any tarot deck, this is dealing with love, or like the Two of Pentacles. So maybe this is a relationship recently that you are currently dealing with that is causing you problems, or maybe this is a, you know, just relationships with a woman. So maybe this is your mom or aunt or something that could cause like some type of control issues, where you got to control your emotions or things like that. This is a long cycle as well, because, yeah, this is a long cycle because you had the Infinity sign over the Magician. Also, the Magician talks about trickery and, you know, coming in as one person is not. You know, maybe a person is trying to come in and convince you of that, and you're like on guard or something. It's okay. Like, if this person comes back and they are trying to trick you, I'm going to say, like, yeah, you can talk to them, but don't be a fool, because that should have been a learning lesson. You being able to grow from being gullible. Gullible is one thing about shadow work. You know, don't be gullible all your life. You're going to know, like, oh, I'm that type of way. But I shouldn't let people run me over and get away with this type of stuff. Because you also had the Three of Swords here, like always being hurt by a female counterpart or the feminine counterpart. Maybe some harmful words, or maybe you don't know how to take words lightly. I don't know. You just have a hard relationship with a female in particular. So maybe you need to start with a female connection as to why you are not moving forward with your happiness, and, you know, also being vulnerable. So maybe you need to open up to this person, so that way they can understand your feelings or something. So that way y'all can, you as, you know, each other can work on something. So this could be a relationship. This could be any woman in your life. Things like that. And I feel as though, again, this could be you too. Like, you always putting the blame on somebody else as to why you cannot move forward. So it's like you almost, not saying victimized or anything, but it's like you're stuck in a place because it's your own fault. It's nobody else's fault. You decided to stay in this state because you feel safe. Growing is all about being uncomfortable. you know, because when people grow, your skin gets stretch marks and things like that, you know, like physically. So, you know, mentally and things, it's not going to feel comfortable either. Let's get some advice. Okay. Ooh. Okay. So, yeah, things are not going to fall into your lap, literally. Like, you know, having to get through this situation, just things is, you know, that nature. So, yes, it's time to release negativity. So stop, you know, holding on to some type of resentment or, you know, something against a female, whether it's your relationships, your mom, whoever, they did some type of hurt to you where you feel as though you cannot open up and go into things, you know, kind of open-minded as if this person is not going to do this to me, because everybody's not going to do you the same, okay? It also says meditate and contemplate. So right now, I feel like you guys are anxious and really you cannot build up the courage to do something when it comes to this person. Okay? Like, you kind of fear this. You kind of like fear, because I'm shaking, it's like you kind of fear this, what is it called? Like confrontation. Like being able to be like, yeah, this is how I feel, da da da, putting it on the table. Like you kind of scared or something, but you don't need to be scared. You need to just sit, rest your mind, meditate. You know, really think about it. Do I want this? Things like that. And it says hold your vision. So it's like if this is something, I feel like if this is something that holds deep to you, take actions for it. You want to be happy? Do what you need to do. Okay? And also don't hold on to past things that's gonna not help you. Okay? Being like, you know, when people start companies and things like that or whatever, they are, if they adapt, you know, they gotta always come out with something new or something like that. So maybe not even looking at relationships for some people, you could, for some people that are cancers right now, your shadow work is stubbornness. You do not like change. You don't like the fact that you have to step outside of your comfort zone and show people yourself. But if you want something to work, like I said, you have to move different to be happier, to move forward. So if you have a business or you have something there too where you have to put yourself out there and things like that, and you want to be, you know, seen, and you've been doing the same thing for like 5 years or so, it's time to change it up, because change is what you need. You always got to change yourself as well. So take these steps going towards that right now. Okay. All right. So that was for all of my water signs. Hopefully you guys resonated with these messages. If you did, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment. You know, also click the notification bell so you can so you guys could get my latest videos, things like that. I will be posting the beginning of January reading, so be sure to check that out in the future videos. But as you know, I am Melamona, and y'all have a good day, my sweets.